This is a podcast for those that are a little too busy to game but still find time to do it anyway. I'm the host tonight, Casey Cole. My faithful co-host Shelby Stokes is out on assignment, but with me on this special soon-to-be Father's Day weekend, I thought of no other better group than the Nintendads, Jesse, Tim, and Marty. They're back. It's been a while. Thank you guys for coming and being so gracious.
Yes, thank you for having us. Yeah,
glad to be here.
Yep. I mean, it's been such a slow year for Nintendo. You know, I figured we could just complain. No, what is this? Maybe one of the best Nintendo years ever with everything.
I'm on that side. I mean, we got Tears of the Kingdom. We got, of course, we got Advance Wars finally. Right?
Yes.
And we
Fire Emblem Engaged.
Fire Emblem Engaged. Octopath Traveler 2, which again I know is on PS5.
Xenoblade 3.
Xenoblade 3, the extension there. And just, I'm sure there's going to be some other thing. Oh, Pikmin 4 is going to come out this year too, right? Isn't that the talk?
Yep.
Well, and I mean, we can't overshadow the obvious impact of Kirby Tilt and Tumble releasing on NSO for the Game Boy.
Yes, that's right.
You know.
And
I thought you were going to say the impact of everybody 1-2 Switch. I thought you were going to say.
Oh, you mean the greatest game ever made? You're right.
That's going to be Game of the Year this year.
Yes,
you know that.
Yes. Right? I never got. Did you guys have 1-2 Switch? Right? Is it as bad as they say? Or
no.
Okay.
I said some mini games are, but most of them are. It's fun if you have people who are willing to look like idiots.
Yeah.
So if you have children,
that's why I have it. Is because
well, that's the thing. Playing it with your kids, I think, is a different perspective than playing it at a adult party, right?
Or,
or
at an adult party with people who haven't seen it, or maybe they're having a few drinks.
Yes. I think actually an adult party might be the best, because my favorite thing to break out in an adult party if we're playing Switch is Just Dance and just seeing who's going to cut loose.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So have a few daddy sodas.
I don't think I've played it since a few months after launch, but what I do remember is my favorite mini game is where you kind of try to count the marbles by just feeling the
That's a good
rumble.
One. That's a good one.
Well, I mean, the biggest flaw with the Switch, and I've said it since day one, is the Joy-Con, right? And then they have these cool feel features, but it's such a flimsy device.
And
they are delicate.
Right.
I really feel like the whole thing with 1-2 Switch in the very beginning and even now is a combination of sticker shock because of how expensive it is, which they've remedied with everybody 1-2 Switch or whatever. It's $29.99. Yeah. But the other thing is it should have been a pack-in game. It is Nintendo Land, right? It should have been.
It's a game demo.
Game that came with the Switch. Just eat the cost, Nintendo, and let it roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. There should be more packaged games, or it should have just been a digital code that came with everybody's Switch. Kind of I think,
especially if it demonstrates features of the system.
Yeah.
Astro's Playroom is a great example of a
for PS5.
PS5.
Yeah. That was the thing. Everybody that played it got to really showcase the controller, because that was the thing that interests me, what it was doing with the controller with the PS5. Because my thing is, the big debate in our Discord right now is I need to bite the bullet, because I got a brand new Mac laptop that's really strong, but Macs can't play any games. Everybody in our Discord is playing Diablo 4, and I'm kind of between.
Sure, it can play games. You just need Xbox Cloud.
Yeah. Oh, they announced something. There's a workaround now coming. They have
or maybe 15% of the games on Steam.
Yes. I can play Stardew Valley fine on it, but because that's really pushing the system.
You can play Doki Doki Literature Club.
Oh, there we go. Right, that might be actually kind of fun. We have JRPG July coming up. Maybe that's the move right there. No, I'm kind of between, because I know you guys have multiple systems. I know, Marty, last time we were on, you talked about you and your son saved up for PS5.
Right.
And then I look at what do you guys think? I mean, obviously we're all diehard Nintendo fans, right? I'm the Nintendo fanboy in the group here. What's your other go-to? Is it PC or is it Xbox or PS5?
For me, it's PS5 right now. We did pick up an Xbox One S. and we just happened to. It was a good deal, and I mainly bought it as Game Pass.
Right,
but
my Game Pass device. That's what I think of it as.
we really never use it. I mean, it's gets turned on maybe once a month, but the PS5 is in rotation, and I especially since we do have a PlayStation Plus membership, so you get all the games with it, and then you get the we have the game catalog that goes down into like Ubisoft and all that, because I have the ultimate whatever PS Plus, and so I just bought a one of the solid state drives that you can plug in, if you pop the case off, and added 2 terabytes of storage with the heat sink. And so now I went back and downloaded a bunch of games that I couldn't have on there previously because of space. So, it's like going back, like my son's never played Patapon. He never played the Tomb Raider reboot. So he's playing through that right now. Like he wanted Doom Eternal. We have it on Switch, but he's like, I'd really like to see what it looks like on PS5.
You're giving him some rite of passage games, which I respect.
Yeah. I mean, he's in all of those games. I mean, we couldn't have like Spider-Man remastered,
I know,
and WWE 2K23 on there at the same time, because both of those, and Final Fantasy Remake, those are your huge games.
Yeah.
So we've got now all of that's on there.
Yeah.
And we're good to go, because we're not going to be able to download it from internet at home. If you listen to Nintendo Dads, we have, like our internet is like a cable hooked up to a potato.
I was going to say, right?
Yeah,
and then like a donkey's pulling it through the field.
Yeah,
right?
tin can internet.
Yeah.
We have to go out and we have to mine the internet every day. Like we go out to the internet mines.
Yes.
And whatever we break out of the rock that day.
Yeah. No, I like that. You hope to find a crystal. It's much like Zelda, right?
It's like Stardew Valley. If you go down there,
you're at level 40 in the cave. Are PS5s in store now, or does it still cost a kidney surgery and a panel van to get it? I think it's a kidney or possibly a lung.
They're on sale right now, actually.
I did see one last time I was at Walmart and looked through the games section.
My Walmart has them regularly. Yeah,
Walmart
they're
and
there.
Costco always has it. Every time
and they're $50 off right now.
Yeah. Costco
Really?
and Walmart is the place to get it. See, I'm between it, because the new Final Fantasy 16 looks amazing. Although it's not a turn-based game. I don't know how I feel about that. It looks like a Devil May Cry game. And then, but the Game Pass thing seems like the best deal, because I think we all grew up renting games from Blockbuster, and this is the Blockbuster effect. I can try a game, see if I like it, and if I really, really love it, I can buy it, right? And it washes out. I do. Do you ever think there's a world where Game Pass could end up on the Switch?
I thought there was at one time, but I don't think so now. I think we're too far into the life cycle. I think if it's coming, it's going to come on whatever's next.
I think if the Switch had say if the Switch had say 30 or 40 million units instead of 130 million units sold, we might have. But Nintendo goes, no, we don't need you. We're good. And then at least 15 million Zeldas sold.
Right. 11 in 3 days or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Wild. I'm curious, as it's a quiet second half. We don't know. There's some maybe inklings of a summer direct or like a mini. Do you think they're waiting to announce something in the fall, like a system, or do you think they're holding on till 2024?
So my prediction has been that
Nintendo, and I think mine matched his.
Okay,
Nintendo Live
right now.
The Nintendo Live event that's coming up in September is going to be where they drop news of Switch, because that or Switch 2, whatever's next. Because
Super Switch. I'm telling you, it's right there.
Maybe they don't. Maybe they don't like say this is when it's coming out or whatever. But it's so non-Nintendo for them to do an event like this,
right?
And I think that's why we haven't seen an E3 this week. I know we don't have E3, but we haven't seen a direct this week, is they're going to save all that information up for the September direct.
Right.
And they're going to do it while people are there for maximum effect. But I'm just an idiot. I don't know.
Well, I'm with you though, because Nintendo's whole thing now is controlling their news cycle, their PR. It's been since they pulled out of E3, right? Like they know they can control the dialogue on it, and why would they? And they're guarding things to their chest a lot, right? And I think they're too busy counting all their money from the movie,
Mm.
It's the
Yeah.
second highest grossing film of all time now.
Well,
at 1.15
how much of that
billion.
movie is Nintendo really getting? Because
That's the other question I was curious about too, because they never said that, right? Like, do
Yeah,
we know
'cause I
those
think-
numbers?
I think Universal gets probably most of
The
it.
majority,
because-
yeah, or Illumination, yeah. The studio. Well, Illumination's looking to get the rights to Zelda too, and so like that's the big talk. Gizmodo put out an article about could there be a Zelda movie, and I don't. Does everything need a movie? Does everything need a movie?
Yeah.
Would you want to see it? Yes. Okay, there you go. Yes. The answer is yes. You're all for
Well,
it.
no, and I will say no. Honestly,
I feel like
as
Zelda is a
non-joke
better
answer,
show.
no.
I think Zelda needs to be a long form show like The
Like
Witcher,
that.
Game of Thrones.
If they animate it like Wind Waker, or
I
if
would
it,
love
you
that.
know, if it has that same charm as Wind Waker,
Yeah.
sell me
Yeah.
50
I
billion
definitely
seasons
want to-
of it. Absolutely.
I definitely want to see something stylized. I don't want.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I
would
don't
love.
want them to
Go
go
ahead.
crazy with it.
I don't want because I see people talk about like a Twilight Princess looking one. I don't know if I want that. I want maybe a Wind Waker one would be good to start. I know they would probably love to get a live action one out there at some time, and I'm sure that would do well. But I feel like a Zelda show and Netflix had their chance and blew it because they started talking about it before they put the cart before the horse.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like, okay, I think Metroid would actually maybe be the best franchise to make a movie of over Zelda.
Well, Tim's going to agree with you on that.
Yeah. Dude, it's there. Aliens is right there. It's there. You make a thriller, it could be coming out Halloween. Boom, done.
I'm just
you have
gonna
no
wa-
arguments here.
Yeah, like after the Mario movie and how good it was to me, like I'm going to watch whatever they do.
Yeah, same. I enjoyed it. I explained it to someone as like it's a kid action movie. Although one of our people on our show, Phil, he was like, I could care less about Mario's family. Where I'm in the other direction, like, no, I want to know more about that storyline. Like,
Yep.
hey, who's the little girl? Tell me about this skeezy uncle. Like, I want in on that family dynamic of Mario.
Yeah, like I'm all in on like the young Peach, like the like how did she end up there? Like where is
Right.
she really from? Like
Yeah.
the movie gives them some ability to explore some areas of that
Yeah.
world that the games can't or may, well, I don't say can't, but maybe won't because
Yeah.
it's not action platforming oriented.
Right.
It's more
right.
it's more world building, and
Yeah.
so I would be okay with whatever they wanted to do. I got
I
the
want to know what other
DVD.
video games they have because they have Jumpman Arcade and they have Kid Icarus.
I got Zelda. You know he's playing it. I
Yeah.
actually got the Mario DVD today in the mail.
Oh, did you?
I had ordered it from Amazon. I was really I got the Blu-ray combo package, whatever.
I've
Thing.
heard the menu is pretty lame.
I have not put it in yet, but I will say this: like I was shocked at the lack of deleted scenes. Like it on the back, there are no deleted scenes. So, and I'm like, no, there's deleted scenes. There's stuff you did not put in that movie. Come on, you know.
Right. They did.
I would not be surprised if Nintendo says, "Do not put that in the disc."
Yeah. I think it's probably really hard. I mean, not probably. It is really hard to work with Nintendo because they really want full control. And they're letting Illumination do this on a loan, I feel like, in a way, where they're proving themselves. And then, okay, what's the price point for Zelda? What do they got to pay for Zelda? That's what I want to know. What kind of coin you dropping?
Well, do we know what they paid for Mario?
Let's Google that. What did...
I don't know. I don't know if that ever would be public, but it wouldn't surprise me if we're talking 9
Hundreds?
figures.
Yeah. But the other tie-in with Illumination and Universal is the theme park, right? Which I'm sure Nintendo gets something on the
Yes.
back end there.
Yes.
We won't know for a while. It's got to be in the hundreds of millions.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, well, they definitely get licensing. I don't know if what type of residuals they get. I'm sure they found a way to get something.
I'm thinking that's already been defined. It's just a matter of figuring out what they're allowing them to tell. what
Yeah.
story they're allowing them to tell.
I think Nintendo just is slowly taking over Universal. What they're asking for is, I want a little more ownership, and then boom, they are the new Disneyland, right? Like they see Walt Disney's motto. Miyamoto's like, we could do that. Yeah, let's just take over here and become that theme park. Like you could have a Zelda Land. You could have. They're making the Donkey Kong one in the Universal Japan, I believe, right? Yoshi could have a world. Tomorrowland is Metroid. Kirby's food court. Like there is so much you could do with the Nintendo universe. And in the Nintendo universe, we have a question from Enrique. What's the greatest Nintendo game ever? That would be the Sesame Street NES game.
Sesame Street
Top
1,
me
2,
shake.
3.
Yeah, I have
It's-
Sesame like as a 5-year-old, so many hours on that on the NES.
It's definitely a toss up between either Mick Kids or Yo Noid.
Dude, kids, that's McDonald's game, right?
Yep,
That was a really good game.
it actually was. Yeah,
yeah.
I actually had a friend who had it, and I was like,
Same.
"This is my McDonald's game is lame." And then he's like, "No, just play it." And
It's a good
4
platformer.
hours later, we're still playing Mick Kids.
Because it's kind of like a Metroidvania platformer, right? If I remember, because
It's more.
super-
I was thinking it's more like Mario 3, but I may be.
Yes.
I may be wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. I don't know why I was thinking. I don't know if it was like
But
levels or a world map. I couldn't.
That does lead me to my real answer, which is
He's
Super
got it
Mario
right there.
Brothers 3. Is-
No,
Mario
but
Brothers
this-
3. What does it say,
I don't know if
Jesse?
you can. I don't know.
Oh,
if you,
there's the McDonald's. There it is.
There it is.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the Grimace's birthday game that was.
Oh, that
just-
everyone's talking about, right? Is that
Yeah.
a fan-made game?
Well, I think McDonald's commissioned a developer to make it, and then they have it available to play free on a website, and the ROM plays on real hardware.
Yeah. I love that you put it on. You're like, all right, let's just see. Is it good? It was Fester's Quest. Fester's Quest, that was a Super Nintendo game. And the Addams Family game is actually pretty good on the Super Nintendo, I will say.
I just feel like I always felt like that was a game that was already made, and they just slapped Fester onto it. Like I really feel like it was supposed to be like a new Blaster Master game.
Yeah,
Probably was.
yeah.
I don't know for sure, but
Which is sold to the Addams Family people. We already got one game. Yeah. No, I remember Blast Master. There's a lot of these old games I always talk about that should come back that people are clamoring for. Like I think Blitz on the N64. If they
Yes.
made a new version of Blitz on Switch for $5 where you could play people online and you could just update the roster, or don't even get the NFL involved. Just make fake
just make
teams
a generic football game.
and with that same mechanics, and that would be the greatest football game ever. I don't know. I keep talking about it. I'm like, maybe I should just do it. Like, maybe that's the move. I just got.
We played so much NFL Blitz at college
Yeah.
on the Sega Dreamcast.
Mm.
That was where
Nice.
I had it. And
Yeah.
so it was that and Soul Calibur and Power Stone.
Power Stone was a good game. That was the original Smash, and they're like, oh, let's make a Smash Brother. Where Blitz though, I was at a bachelor party on Memorial Day weekend. And someone brought an N64. And we played Blitz, and Blitz still plays well. Like you can still play Blitz, and still it's like, oh, this is still good.
Blitz and Hits still play well.
NFL Blitz is an S tier party game, as they say in the chat. I fully agree. Mario Party is not. I'm gonna say this. I've seen fist fights over Mario Party in real life. Breakout. Mario Party is how you end friendships. Jesse, go ahead.
blisters.
Yeah, remember because they sold it with a glove, didn't they?
Well, it wasn't sold with the glove. That was the result of
That
a
came out
lawsuit.
later.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
We actually did a Friday night NSO. A few of us got together and streamed it where we were playing Mario Party 2, and that was actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
My daughter requested last night for her 15th birthday. I was like, what do you want to do? She's like, I want to play Mario Party. So
50 turns.
We got no, we didn't let that happen. But we did the Super Mario Party, and then we switched over to Superstars, and we did the Peach's birthday cake map. And by the we did 15 turns instead of 10. And at like turn 9, my wife looks over at me and is like, can I just quit?
I hate this so much.
She did. She
Should have
said,
should have
"This is why I
chosen
don't
10.
play Mario Party or
And
video
she
games
somehow
in
still
general."
won. Like
She
the end of the game,
did.
like,
She did.
I
She
love it.
literally won at the end of the game, man.
That's funny.
The cheese in that game is like, oh, I know this person hates it. So I'll let them win, so they'll come back and play again.
Literally
man.
at the end of the game, my son is in the floor having collapsed because she stole a star from him on the last turn. I was like, that's a new level of petty right
he
there.
wasn't ready. He was not ready.
He was not. He didn't have nothing he could do.
No. That's funny. Yeah, it's they're party games. It's hard too because it's got to be something like Zelda Four Swords. I always think about that. I had a weekend where we played that and tried to beat that, and there's a guy we aren't friends with anymore because he was so horrible to play with in that
You're
game.
banished from the group.
Yeah, we're like, yeah, we'll call you later, Bill. Like, I'm not gonna use his real name, but that because. I think of like now with Tears of the Kingdom because we gotta talk Tears of the Kingdom. How amazing it is! Have you guys? How far are you guys?
2 temples in.
I'm 2 temples. I just started my 2nd temple.
I've completed 4 temples, and I'm trying to now, get more shrines.
Yeah.
Get more chasm mapped out before going on to the next step.
I'm too distracted by the map usually when I play. I'm on the 2nd temple, but I have 9 memories. let me tell you, that's where I'm like, ooh, I can find these things and go. And then I want to complete that glide suit. Real bad.
I still only have one part of the glide suit, but I do have all of the glyphs done.
Ooh, did you? Okay.
And you start the game with one memory, basically the opening cutscene, and then the next 11 memories are when you gather glyphs.
Yeah.
After that, then there's a 13th memory that really goes, oh my god.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. There's been so many oh my god moments. That game for someone like I have ADHD, and Breath of the Wild was so open where you could kind of focus. This I turn or something. I can't be like, oh, okay. Like I'm like I'm gonna do this, and then whenever I say I'm gonna do, I do 20 other things instead.
Yeah. The last play session, I wanted to go towards, go up to the tower, go down into a chasm, but I'm like, ooh, what's this? And I ended up doing, there are 2 labyrinths on the map, one in the northeast, one in the southwest. I did the whole southwest maze section, and that probably took a few hours.
Yeah, because you're in prayer. The other thing is I'm trying to think of my shrines I've done. I'm like at 50 shrines already too, because that's the other thing. Like I like a shrine more than the temple. I find the temples are cool. I did the Wind Temple first because that's where the game guides you. And
the reward for it was the Evil Spirit Mask, which kind of looks like an Oni almost.
Nice. Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Has defense 4 and a stealth up buff.
Okay. Which temples have you done? Tim, I know you took forever to beat Breath of the Wild. Are you still like, is this a slow draw for you?
This is going to be a slow one because I'm kind of not in the mood to play it. So I haven't played it in the past couple weeks.
It's hard because I just got off Octopath. That was the thing. Octopath.
Yeah, I had finished game and engaged right up to the point where it was like I started playing a little bit of something else, and then this came out, and it was great to start for sure. Probably about 10 hours in, but then I was just like, I wanted to do other things because I was just got done with a large game. So I've been playing other games.
It's overwhelming in a good way and in a bad way.
Yeah, for sure.
Just like, you could play this game forever.
Yes.
Yeah. I actually created a spreadsheet that where we can kind of track the number of things that we can track, like how many shrines do you have, how many stamina rings do you have, how many hearts do you have, how many Korok suds do you have, things like that. One of them is hours played, and I don't think a lot of people started to add stuff and then stopped, but my son has been keeping his current. I've been keeping mine current.
I know I need to go in and I've not done it since the first week.
I have I think I have 95 hours played at least now, and 83 shrines.
Oh, wow. You're past me. I've been distracted by a couple other games. So
what other games?
Well, the first is a game that I thought I would never play again. It's Fortnite. I dropped out of it.
Yeah.
I dropped out of it, and then I got back in last season just because
the level 100 reward bring you back in.
And
All Might brought me back in.
I got back in last season just because I thought, I'm gonna see. Like I'm bored. I don't really have anything else to do. And it's like, I was like, I've been playing so much Tears of the Kingdom. I was like, I need something else. And so
Oh,
I had let my subscription expire, but hadn't got like it had got the battle pass for last season, but I hadn't played it. And so I did that and got to level 100 like the day before it swapped over. And then when I found out that the level 100 skin for this season is Optimus Prime, I was like, I'm done. I'm back in. I'm fully back.
yeah. Because are you a big is that your 80s go-tos, the
Oh,
Transformers?
I'm
You're
not
talking
wearing a
about the
Transformer
movies.
shirt right here.
Okay,
Yeah, I
I've
mean, I
heard
love
the
Transformers.
movies like the movies have been like hit or miss lately, and I've heard this one's getting great reviews.
Yeah,
I
so
love the Beast Wars cartoon from like middle school, like that. Optimus Prime's gorilla, check, sign me up. I'm all for that.
So the thing that I've kind of seen online, the sentiment, and I've not seen the new movie at all. I'm actually watching back through them right now as a way to torture myself.
Why would you do that?
It's called delayed gratification.
Yeah,
right?
I'm like I just finished Age of Extinction last night or the other night, and my kids
Okay.
were like my son was like, "What did I? Why did we just watch that?"
Yeah.
So we're gonna make ourselves watch the last night.
Is that the one with Devastator, or is that something else?
No, Devastator's Revenge of the Fallen. That's the one where he
Okay.
has like Decepticon
That's
balls.
with Marky Mark, right?
Marky Marks is in Age of Extinction.
Okay.
And there's like y'all, there's stuff that goes on in this movie. Like there's car chase scenes where the time of day switches in between cuts. Like it's night, now it's twilight, now it's dawn, now it's like
is it on purpose, like show like it's been a really long car chase, or is it
no,
bad
like
editing?
no. This is like the government is trying to capture them at their farm, and it's different times a day. And so like Age of Extinction last night are terrible. They're so bad. The Rotten Tomato scores are awful.
Yeah.
Bumblebee was great.
I've heard Bumblebee's great.
Bumblebee was great, but I feel like they've started to tip back in the other direction with Rise of the Beast. I don't know. Like I've heard good things, but I've also heard bad things. Like there's things I don't like. Like in Bumblebee, they got Wheeljack right. Like all the Transformers looked like they were supposed to, like from the cartoon, from the 80s.
Yeah.
And now in this new movie, for some reason, Wheeljack is a van in Mexico with goggles on. Like,
Sick.
no, what are you doing? But Tim, you've seen it, right?
Yep.
Okay. So thumbs up or
Same
thumbs
here.
down. That's all I need to know.
Yeah. What's the Tim rating? 2 thumbs.
Okay.
Oh, and Jesse too.
All right.
See,
All
I
right.
will know.
It is my new favorite Transformers movie.
I'm
live
waiting to go
action
see it
Transformers
next Tuesday.
movie.
Tuesdays, we have a local theater that does
$5.
$5 Tuesdays.
Yeah, that's here too, up north. In the
I bet Tim enjoyed the last 30 seconds.
I immensely enjoyed the last 30 seconds
Oh,
of that
so
movie.
is there a
car you like or a character? I'm not gonna get into
Okay. Yeah, there's no
It's
end credit
fantastic.
scene, but there's like 2 mid credit scenes.
I gotcha. Okay. I'll check it out. I'm more excited for Ninja Turtles, Mutants of Mayhem. The Seth
Oh,
Rogen
that
take on
was so good.
Yeah. I like that they're actual teenagers. I'm like, oh, that's nice because I collect the IDW graphic novels. Like I'm a diehard Ninja Turtle. The 80s are going strong this summer, which I'm all for.
Yep.
It's
The
our
best
time.
time.
The war's over.
No, no,
The best decade.
You know,
Come on.
I don't like the 15 to 20 frames look though.
That like
No,
with the hard outline shaded, yeah.
No, well, like the
see,
first
I'm all
Spider
about
movie, the first Spider-Verse movie did it.
Did that too,
It did
yeah.
it. And you know, it bothered me.
I haven't
think
seen
it's
that.
3D.
I haven't seen Across the Spider-Verse either.
I haven't
I
seen
saw that
either,
too.
I need to go
Same
see.
here.
I'm on the docket to go see Little Mermaid.
2 thumbs up
with
for that one
my-
too.
You guys, I would love. I have a 4-year-old and an 8-year-old, and my son and I lost out to my daughter because my son got to go see Mario. So we're taking my daughter to go see The Little Mermaid, and I'm gonna go.
I actually want to see that too.
I've heard great things. I'm
Yeah.
excited. I love taking my kids to the theater, so I'll go. And those Disney live action movies are hit or miss. I feel like they're either good or bad. Like I thought Lion King was bad. I'll say it right now.
Terrible.
It was. It's not live action.
Terrible.
Beauty and the Beast, solid. Aladdin, surprised. And then like Lady and the Tramp, not great.
You know which one was really, really genuinely good was Jungle Book.
Yes,
the very
the first
first
one.
I was on the hook with that one. I was
Yeah.
like, Yep, I'll
didn't
watch
see
them
that one.
all. And
that's
then
'cause-
the next one was it was awful.
I don't know if it was the same guy. The guy from he does all the great movies. He's in the Marvel movies. He's the
Michael
John
Bay?
Favreau. Didn't he did Jungle Book, I think.
Favreau did it.
I would
yeah.
love
What
to
did you
see
say?
a
What
Michael
did you
Bay
say?
Disney movie. That would
I
be
would love
awesome.
to see a Michael Bay directs Wally. Everything's
Oh my God.
exploding, trash flying everywhere. There's
I would probably actually want to watch that.
Wally has private parts all of a sudden.
Yep.
What is he?
It's a hard PG-13 rating.
Yeah, hard PG-13.
And then, no, I know they're doing a live action Moana. And I like again, so back to like Zelda, I think if they do the movie, it's gotta be live action. With Tears of the Kingdom and where it's going, I don't know. Do you think top-down Zeldas are dead?
I hope not. I prefer
Not
them.
dead, not dead, but Al Numa says that the Tears of the Kingdom is the formula moving forward.
Sorry, Tarantino does Toy Story. Just to go back to those
Yeah.
jokes. He went.
I want to see a Zelda 2 remake.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'd be all about it.
Or I want them to go. Yeah. Let's do that. Or like Link Between Worlds. Or just make it off. Like I feel like if we treat it like the Olympics and there's a trade off. So like you wait 6 years between Zeldas, but there's a 3-year break. Like the Winter Olympics, it's 2 years after the Summer Olympics. So 3 years from now we get a top-down Zelda, and then another 3 years we get one of these. Because I feel like the next one of these open world Zeldas, it has to go to the ocean. They got to take the path from Wind Waker and do some stuff in the water.
I know that that this might not be a popular take on this,
Okay.
but I
Brace
know we
yourself.
don't have a stylus anymore. Okay, but I honestly would not be upset with something that is a continuation of Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks.
Yeah.
Oh,
that
I'd be
kind of
for that.
thing.
I like that.
That's what
That's
I
a good
would-
one,
Zelda
Marty.
Galaxy.
I like that one.
Like I just don't think like you don't see so many people like, oh man, like Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass. That's my Zelda jam. It's usually like a console Zelda, but
That was in
would
my
be-
top Zelda
I
game.
would
In this,
be
It was.
super
I
happy
have
with
that
about
right
that
here.
here.
We talked about that last week. I'll pull that list up.
I like those games, but they are rough.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I had a good
I'm
time
just
with
saying
it. They
that
weren't
like
rough for me.
I thought it was
thought they were great.
It was such a fresh take on Zelda. Like because starting with Ocarina, you kind of had like if Zelda was serious, it had to be you get the 3 colored gems, red, green, blue, and then you get the Master Sword, and then you go do some more stuff, then you kill Ganon.
I
It
just
was kind of
want
in every game.
I just want a 4 swords. Give me another one.
You
Give me
may or may not do it in the head.
give me a like Tetris 99 like thing where we get 4 swords on NSO.
If they did a Zelda 35 where everybody's
99
trying to
swords.
complete the dungeon as fast as they can, like and it's Zelda 1, I'm in.
I'd
Yeah.
be up for that.
Yeah, this was our list that we did
I remember
last time you
this.
guys were on the show.
Yes.
And I love that the GBA's made appearance. The one that's like Links Between Worlds was the one that really stuck out to me because 1, 2, 3, 4. It's on 5 of our lists. Or no,
Yeah.
it's on all one. Yeah, it's on all of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's the one that was universally all of us were like, yeah, that's a really good Zelda, right?
Mhm.
I really like good old Link Between Worlds. I think
I still stick with that list, except for here's where I think I'm going to differ from that list. Is
Okay.
I actually think that Twilight Princess or Link Between Worlds, one of those two has got to go, and
on your
and
list.
and Tears of the Kingdom has to replace it.
Oh yeah, I'm kind of in that spot too, where I think, and probably it's Link to the Past to me, or Ocarina of Time. It's my bottom two.
My thing is this: is that I played and beat Breath of the Wild, and I thought it was a good game, right? But like, it's not something that I like. I said I have to play this. Like this is all the time. Like when I was done, I kind of breathed a sigh of relief, right? Like okay, I did it. It's over, right? I got the DLC. I didn't go back and complete the Master Sword trial. I didn't even do it. So Nintendo gets free money from me. But with Tears of the Kingdom,
Oh, Shelby's in the chat.
I'm,
See, Shelby was an anti Breath of the Wild guy, and you
thank
go ahead,
you.
try.
He said Tears of the Kingdom fixed Breath of the Wild. Yes.
That's my thing too. Where I had
Yes.
students asking me, my fifth graders going, "Well, which one do I play?" I was like, "I guess you just play Tears of the Kingdom." Breath of the Wild, great, but it's more of like a wandering, like a slower pace
It's a
game.
tech
It's
demo.
really open. What was that?
It's a tech demo.
I kind of said, I said the same thing about Pokemon Arceus when that came out. I'm like, they're setting something up for their next game. I think of Breath of the Wild crawled or like live so Tears of the Kingdom could run, right? Kind of thing.
I'll agree with that. Yeah.
And they're both good, but I could replace Breath of the Wild with Tears of the Kingdom and put a caveat, try both on my list, and I'd be happy with my list too. Because then you have representation of all the Zeldas, the top.
Try both. Do you have a 2.5 year span? Try both.
Yeah. If you have nothing to do for 2.5 years,
Or 10
only need
years
one
in
video
my
game,
case. 10
or
years.
10 years, yes.
You need a decade to play both those games for me.
Yes. I know. I'm just so impressed with that game. And then I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to play next because we have RPG July coming up. And for me, I'm going to still be playing Zelda. I'm on the tail end of Octopath, which it was going to be my game of the year. And then I'm like, well, Zelda's coming out. What is that going to be? And it's really hard to pick because Octopath, what it did for the JRPG genre, it's like that's what people want when they think they want old school turn-based Final Fantasy is they want
Sir, may I suggest Live Alive?
I that was my game of the year last year.
Oh, okay. You
Loved
cut out
it.
when you said that. Yes. So good. So
no,
good.
I didn't say it. That was Live Alive was my
I'm
everyone
really
thought it was gonna be
glad.
tribal strategy.
I'm really glad that and I don't I'm glad Nintendo got it first, but I'm glad that it's branching out to other systems so that other people have a chance to play it because it's so good.
The fact that it was this game on Super Nintendo that was like, hey, this actually could have been really good. The music is phenomenal, right? And then Octopath kind of carries that for me too. Octopath needs to win a Grammy this year. If God of War can win a Grammy with their soundtrack was okay. Octopath Traveler, I'm going to war for this. I'm going to start lobbying for the soundtrack of the year, game of the year, or Octopath Traveler 2. But Live Live is a wonderful game. And I always tell people it's a short JRPG because it's only like 35 hours.
Mm-hmm.
But like, that's long. I'm like, you do not.
Yeah, and I mean, you can dilly dally a little bit, but it's not like it's always pushing you toward the next thing.
Yeah. Who is your favorite story?
Oh
in
gosh.
Live Live?
Oh man. Probably.
I didn't finish it. Edo Period was my worst, and that's the reason why I couldn't finish it. But the one I liked the best was the Near Future
with the psychic guy.
Yeah, that was
where it's like it
was like a shonen anime on steroids, and I loved it.
That was good. That one was good. Honestly, I kind of like the caveman story.
He's my favorite because we tell a wonderful story with no dialogue. Boom.
Yes.
And then one that really floored me was the future one. Imagine that on the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To go and do like a thriller. That game's out there.
Yep. So the other game that's been occupying my time, and I'll throw this to you, Casey, because you may appreciate this because you're asking what to play next, is we got a review copy of a game called Doordon. And it's this narrative game where you play as a girl named Mimi who has flashbacks from the present to the past, and like she has no memories. Like she basically you start the game and she's older and she's going to her grandmother's house. Her grandmother's passed away, and so she's going to help clean out the house and get some things.
Gotcha.
And then like through a series of chapters, you're revealing memories that like she's remembering things. And it's just like you kind of play it and you're like, oh, is this all there is to it? But there's like all these really neat, like I think they're neat. Maybe I'm wrong, but like the way that you do things, like there's a part like in this chapter that I just finished where like you made tea. And it's like you get to you pick the tea, and then you open the top of the electric tea kettle and you set it in the sink and you pour the water, and I don't know, and it's beautiful, like watercolor inspired visuals. And I think it's neat. I don't know. It's not going to be like game of the year or anything, but like it's like there's a little bit of mystery to it. I'm not talking like it's not like scary mystery or anything, but there's a little bit of like, why does she not remember? What's going on? I want to play. I want to unravel this. But there's a sweetness to it too. Like that, it's about the relationship between a girl and her grandmother, and why is this girl's dad so adamant against her seeing grandma, and there's this rift in the family and all kinds of stuff that gets like, I'm only in chapter 4, so I'm sure it gets revealed as you go along, but it's actually out now. Like it's on the eShop now,
and it's like it's a text-based game, kind of like the.
No, it has voice acting. You can move around. You interact with the world. Like there's parts of it where like you get a camera and you take pictures, and like you make a scrapbook, and so there's just all kinds of things going on. And I just before we came on here, like unlocked or found like a Walkman with headphones, but it also has a microphone attached to it.
Ooh.
So apparently there's something you're gonna do with that.
A Talkman.
Yeah, it's a Talkman.
Yeah, you're playing that sweet game, and I'm playing Warhammer 40,000 Bolt Gun, playing some Doom Nukem type.
Yeah, that
style
Bolt Gun
games.
looks really fun. It kind of looks like, it's weird that it's a Warhammer game, but it looks like an old school Doom or
it looks exactly like an old school Doom or Duke Nukem game, and plays like it too. And I'm having an absolute blast with that.
Yeah. Well, that's
what's been taking my time away.
Yeah, and that's got to be like a nice, like quick, and you're like, it's intense. You can play for like 10, 15-minute increments and feel like, Where if I play Zelda, I'm like, I need an hour.
The levels are getting bigger, so the last level I did took me about an hour to get through.
Okay,
because there was a lot.
Are you getting near the end? You think?
It is a pretty quick game. I have to look it up again, but I think it's I have to look it up again. I think it is one of those quick ones, and there is another one I'm playing that's actually like 3 hours long, so I'll be done with that one too soon.
What is that?
Nocturnal.
Oh, I've seen some. Okay,
you're basically it's a platformer where you are a swordsman who uses flames to fight against creatures that use ash and darkness as their power, and you fight off that with the flame sword. But it's on a timer, so you don't constantly have the flame sword. You have to constantly keep it lit, so you have to use some of your surroundings to keep fire pedestals going, or lanterns or whatever, and then whatever that timer starts going down, you just hit it with your sword and it lights it back up and you go through. So it's actually been holding my interest and I gotta do a video on it shortly, but It's been having a lot of fun with playing that one too.
And Jesse, you're going to be playing Grimace's Quest, correct? Like I want a full in-depth dive on the McDonald's game.
I'm normally not very good at platformers, but I'll definitely be giving it a try when I find time.
What if you get like a free cheeseburger from the end, and here's a coupon? Like you're like, all right, sick, yeah.
Or that free Grimace shake. There's a new Grimace shake. Purple shake. I got to try that.
What does the purple shake taste like?
That's what I'm saying. I got to try it. Tastes like purple.
Tastes like
Grimace.
It tastes like purple stuff. Yeah, it tastes like Grimace. Gross. That guy looks
like.
I love how I kind of love how McDonald's, like after all these years, is like, hey, none of you know who this is anymore, but we're going to celebrate Grimace's birthday.
But your parents do.
Your parents do. And that'll get them to come back and spend money here.
Well, that and the spooky Halloween.
Yeah, the buckets.
And those things.
We did that this year. We did that.
Yeah, the spooky Halloween bucket and everything. Like, it's all for adults. Yeah. It's all to suck adults in to come in. Like our generation, 80s kids. Yeah. You know what will make us come back to McDonald's? Start serving those cookies again that you used to be able to get there.
Yes.
The cookies in the box.
Do you remember the crystal Batman Forever mugs?
Oh, I have them.
I still have mine.
My kids drink out of one on a regular basis.
That's good, man. Good man. Well, speaking of kids, And
I remember the McDLT.
Remember the Arch Deluxe?
That's the one you put together, right? The
Yeah.
McDLT.
The Arch
Cold
Deluxe.
on one side, hot on the other.
Oh my
What was
God.
the Arch Deluxe?
The Arch
The-
Deluxe was
some-
their like gourmet burger that they tried to sell.
It had like
It
a
was the
it had like
Whopper
a
thing.
fancy sauce.
It had a fancy sauce. It had
Well,
like
see.
onions. It was good. It was good. As a
My
kid, you felt
favorite-
fancy.
Is when they bring out the extra large Big Macs.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Where, like-
I tried one of those. That was a lot of food.
It
Yeah.
was so good though.
It was
Well,
not
me-
balanced well.
It was not. I don't care. It's still good.
But speaking of like nostalgia and us, the parents coming out, it's Father's Day coming up this weekend. Again, we brought it up, and I want to bring us to our last segment, which is called Draft Time. And Draft Time, if I can present this on screen, give me a second, guys. Draft Time is our little mini game show, and our focus today is choosing your favorite dad. We're gonna make a draft of dads. We're gonna do the snake style because one other thing is I am in the Nintendo Dads Fantasy Football League. I'm meddling every year, but I try my best. And I'm a big fan of fantasy football and the games like that. And the rules for Draft Time today are very simple. We have to pick fictional dads that you would be a group of 4 that you want to hang out with. It's 4 rounds, and you have to choose one. It's snake style. We're gonna go up and down the list, and the types of dads we have to choose are one TV dad, one video game dad, and one animated dad. And the final genre can be any of the ones before, but it has to be a bad dad. Like it's a dad that is not good at being a dad. That would just be kind of a fun hang, you know. Make the group. You call them the wild card, as they say. So,
Okay.
who got up the earliest today?
Oh, I was up at 6.
You're up at 6. Okay.
I'm on vacation. I got up later than normal, so I was like 9.
9.
That
Tim?
has me beat. I was up at 8:30.
8:30. I was up at 4, but because I'm the guest, I'm going to give it to Marty, and then I'm going to go Marty, Jesse, Tim to me, and I'll end the second round. So, and then what else we're going to do is we're going to take this list, and I'm going to put it under person A, person B, person C, person D, and we're going to let people vote on which group of dads they want to hang with.
Okay.
Okay, so Marty,
So in other words,
Who-
we're
Are
going to
you
be
gonna
judged.
give us a category each round?
you can choose. Once that category is gone, that's you've taken from that
Oh,
category.
okay.
I'm gonna do. I will say that that would be
Okay.
the one. Like,
So
caveat.
all of us are going to end up with 4 dads.
yep.
Okay.
But you might
So-
take a dad that I wanted. Like I might have a dad ranked pretty high, you know?
Yeah. Well, okay. So I'm gonna shoot first.
Okay.
And I'm gonna shoot high because I don't want this one taken.
Okay.
This character was my other dad growing up in the 80s,
Okay.
and it's Optimus Prime.
Oh. Okay. All right. All right.
And
dad
I
of the
know people
Autobots.
would argue that he's not like a dad. He's not a dad, but he is a father figure.
I'll buy that.
I'll buy it. He's the leader of the group. They go to him. They treat him
Bumblebee
like
looks
dad.
up to him like a kid would look up to a
Yep.
father.
Yeah.
They go to him with their problems. He would solve their problems. He would take care of them. And at the end, he would even teach them a life lesson. He
True.
played basketball with humans. He took care of Spike and that Chip, the kid in the wheelchair, and Carly. That's who I'm going with. It's Optimus Prime.
That's true.
Not the movie Optimus Prime. G1 Optimus
Okay.
Prime. Transformers animated show.
Original. Okay. Interesting. Interesting. All right. Jesse, you are up.
Okay. I guess in the video game.
Yeah,
dad
also, if you
category,
Google is Optimus Prime a dad, a lot of good internet searches. I was just curious how the internet stands, and the internet's okay with it. All right,
Okay.
Jesse. Yeah,
Okay.
sorry to interrupt you.
So I'll go with the video game dad. I'll go with Sojiro Sakura from Persona 5.
Okay. Okay.
He's,
And why is that?
You know, he's the character that boards you when you start the game. So initially he's an ass, yeah, but you find out why he's an ass, and because ultimately he wants to keep you away from his family, and his family problems, which of course you end up mingling in and interfering with it, but as a result, you save. Again, neither you nor this girl is biologically his,
Yeah.
but he's basically their guardian, legally.
Okay.
But she ends up coming out of her depression and rejoins society and joins your team, and when the world then turns against you and there's a bounty on your head, Sojiro says, once he finds out the secret and that both of the kids are involved in it, he goes, "I'm not turning you in. I'll help you. I'll help protect you." So he ends up being a good guy at the end.
The chat is giving a lot of good dads. And Persona 5 is ones that interest me because that's also something that's on my backlog for JRPG.
And Jesse just spoiled it for you.
That's okay. Here's the thing. You can't be spoiled if it doesn't actually bother you. Okay?
That's true. Or I thought you were going to say you can't actually spoil if it's been out for 10 years.
That's also the thing. Like when people
this is 40 or 50 hours into the game, he's not going to remember this conversation.
Yeah, I'll forget this. And then the other thing is too, hey, guess what? Bible, Jesus dies. Spoiler alert. You know what I mean? I'm all for being really pedantic about that stuff. I'm like, hey, guess what? Titanic, they hit the iceberg. Just a heads up, big twist.
Don't know if you know it, but they all died.
Oh my gosh! Now I can't watch that movie. Now you just ruined the end for me.
I'm a notorious spoiler, so that's the other thing. So all right, Tim, who is your pick?
All right, I'm going to throw out a TV dad here.
Okay.
So I'm going to throw out Married with Children's Al Bundy.
So is that your bad dad or just your dad?
That is my TV dad.
Okay. Nice.
I had him on my list as a bad dad.
Polkai hero. He can be either or.
Took my bad dad pick, Tim.
That is my that is my TV dad because there's a lot about him that reminds me of my dad, and it was because of the comments he would make. My dad would make some of those same comments, so it was that's why he's up there on the TV dad side for me.
Off the cuff, loves the nudie bar. High school football, he scored 4 touchdowns in one game.
Just everything. I can't tell you how close that is to my dad. And some of the comments he would make. It's just I'd be like, Dad, come on.
Right. Every dad. He was the first cringy dad, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good pick. I had Al on my board too. I'm gonna go because I had the snake draft. I get my back-to-back picks. My first one is going to be an animated dad, and that is Bandit Healer from Bluey, who makes us all look like really bad dads.
Yes.
Bandit is the best.
That's a good one.
I should have known Bluey was coming into this.
That's a good one.
Bluey's coming in. Bandit Healer is what all dads should try to be. He's a fun dad. He teaches them life lessons. Doesn't take himself too seriously. Bluey is a staple. We watched that so many times because that was my daughter's prime.
We have no kids that age, and yet Bluey is an awesome show.
It's the best. It's the best.
I've never watched
Dora. It crushes all those because it doesn't repeat itself. It doesn't do anything. It tells a good story.
I haven't watched it, but our youngest daughter, who's 21, does.
Yeah, anybody can watch Bluey, not just kids. It's the number
one.
My
wife turned it on the other day, about a couple months ago. She was like, "I just want to see what what everybody's talking about." 5 episodes later, I'm like, "We've got to stop watching this. We've got to turn it off,
good.
please."
It's good,
especially when they pretend to be grandmas.
That's the best. The grannies are here, and then they're just farting on each other on the bus. It's the best. I'm going with a video game pick on my turnaround draft. And Marty is going to be mad at me because we're both Mega Man fans, and I'm taking Dr. Light.
Yeah.
I was wondering. I thought Marty was going to call that one for sure.
He cares about rock. He wants to make, he is Geppetto, but he makes a cooler Pinocchio that doesn't lie and fights evil robots and just wants to be a real boy. And kind of is.
And his nose stays the same size throughout the entire series.
It's a great
and he's got a sick dad beard.
Yeah.
But he Mega Man's the best robot. He's a good kid, but he lets him have free will. Mega Man's doing what's right, and he's got a nice sister, and he cares about his kids, even if they're cyborgs or robots, however you want to think of them. I think I'm more of cyborgs. I think Mega Man's got some humanity to him.
Mm-hmm.
So those are my first 2 picks. Tim, it goes back to you.
All right, I'm gonna go with my video game pick, and it's going to be Geralt from Fire Emblem Three Houses,
Oh,
because that's Byleth's dad,
yes, yes.
and he I don't want to spoil anything, but just he is the reason why a lot of people end up crying in that game.
Yeah, yeah. He's a good dad. He's
Yes.
a good dad. His story was Fire Emblem Three Houses is such a great JRPG. Speaking about JRPG, like, I know I finally got Shelby to play that on ours. He's like, "Yeah, this is good. It's a soap opera." I'm like, "Right, that's correct."
It is. That is a soap opera game right there,
Yeah.
for sure.
He's like, I just started eating like popcorn and watching my stories. That's like, right? That's how you play that game. And then you get to have some go to war and murder people. It's a good balance of both. And it's also a teacher sim. It's just the other
Yes.
like odd thing about
So
Fire
many
Emblem.
things crammed into one.
Your
Yeah.
kids can't watch Game of Thrones. The next best thing is to watch
Yeah.
Three
They can learn a
Houses.
little bit about political intrigue and awkward
Yes.
relationships. And no incest. No.
Yeah.
Jesse, what is your next pick?
Okay, for animated dad, I'm gonna go with Drake Mallard from Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing Duck? Oh, nice. Nice.
That's a good pick. I like
Yeah,
that.
He tries to take care of his daughter while trying to do his superhero life and trying to get her not involved, and that kind of never works.
I always forget he has a daughter.
Yep.
He's an adoptive dad too, which is like good representation, right? About what a dad is, right? too.
Gosling, was that her name?
Yeah, which is another like bird play, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And Darkwing Duck, that with the DuckTales, they brought some episodes where Darkwing was in it with Launchpad.
Those are my favorite. Those were my favorite ones.
Yeah,
Always hope
I'm
it will
watching
turn
it.
into a real series.
I want that, and I want Gargoyles to come back. I've been saying that for years. It's time. Like, hey, bring those
Yep.
out of the vault. Marty, we get to you, and you get to pivot on the corner, so you get 2 picks this time.
Okay, so first one is going to be TV Dad,
Okay.
and maybe against the rules because I've already done an animated, but TV has animation too.
Yeah, sure.
So
I'll take it. Hey,
I'm
it's within
going
logistics.
for Hank Hill from King of the Hill.
That was
That's a
one of
good-
mine too on my
Yeah,
list.
that's a good one.
It is a
Dang it,
great
Bobby.
one. Damn it, Bobby. How are you feeling?
I love King
You
of the
speak
Hill,
it.
and I've heard the rumors that they're going to reboot it,
They are on Hulu.
and I cannot wait to see it because it's one of my favorite shows ever.
Yeah.
It's still so funny.
Have you ever seen it with Japanese voiceover? And
Yes.
King of the Hill is an anime, and you
Yes,
watch it, and you're like,
that was-
"Huh, it kind of works.
If you've
in a
never
different way."
seen the YouTube, there's a video out there where Hank Hill is a Pokemon trainer.
Oh yeah.
Oh, you
Yeah, I
need to
have.
go. You need to see it if
It's
you haven't
good.
seen it.
It's good.
My video game dad
Oh.
is Lee Everett from the Telltale Walking Dead series.
Oh, nice.
If you're not
That's a
familiar
good
with
one.
that series, it was the first season of The Walking Dead. I think they did several seasons of that, but Lee is when you start the game, Lee is being transported in the back of a police car out of Atlanta, which the zombie apocalypse starts in the middle of him being transported. He ends up getting out of the car due to a wreck and runs into a little girl named Clementine who's lost her parents, and he takes care of her through those 5 episodes. And it's a powerful story. If you've never played those, I loved those Telltale games. The Batman one was good. The Walking Dead was good, but the first season of The Walking Dead, the first 5 episodes were the best.
Okay.
And I mean, this was not his daughter, but he took her on to live as his,
I like
and
that.
it's really a story of the both of them facing trauma
Right.
that they're having to both go through, and how the relationship helps both of them
Yeah.
deal with the difficulty of that.
Joel
So-
and Ellie. It's all that. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was first. I think it was before Last of Us.
It was. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
a long time because I was playing it on Xbox 360.
Yeah. That was like
a long time back
2000
before
aughts.
Last of Us.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Good pick. Jesse, we are back to you.
For Bad
third
Dad,
pick?
I'm gonna go with Randy Marsh, South Park.
Yes, good pick from South Park. Stan's dad.
Yeah, just because
Who
I'll,
now I runs a marijuana farm and hangs out with Tally
I'll-
all the time.
I
That's
haven't
bad.
seen the show in 20 years,
It's worth a watch.
but yeah, I remembered that all the adults are idiots.
Yeah. Well, do you
And,
remember the whole episode of T-ball or baseball where none of the kids want to play baseball and Randy fights all the other dads there, and it's like, I thought this was America. He just gets kicked out of every baseball game.
Didn't see that one.
Oh my gosh, Jesse, I got a list of some South Park clips that you need to go enjoy right now. Randy has cemented as the ultimate bad dad. He might be the main character of South Park these days. There's the argument for that.
Really?
Yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick. Tim.
All right, I have an animated pick that I had to kind of get. I had a movie one, but you changed it on me.
You can still use it.
No, it's okay. I
Okay,
figured
okay.
one out. I got one that, so I had to look up a couple just to make sure, like, go back to some shows I watched, and then I was like, oh yeah, this is great. Greg Universe from Steven Universe.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick. And he's been in a movie. There was a Steven Universe movie, so I would.
Yeah, true.
There
That
you
is
go.
true. Yeah, I love that show. Just everything that
I've
goes
I've never
on
watched
there.
the show more than an episode or two.
It's a great show. I mean,
The musical
regardless
numbers
of
are
whether you want to
surprising.
look at it politically or not, I still
Yeah.
liked it just because of the animation, the storytelling, and all that kind of stuff
Yeah.
was awesome. So
The battle's cool. And
the
music-
and the idea of these like these
Crystal
gems,
Space people.
yeah, and merging and all that kind of stuff was really cool. So
Yeah.
the really awesome show.
It's rad. The music is like stellar. Really
Right.
stellar. They get some big celebrities to do that. All right. Well, I'm back on the pivot. I got my bad dad and I need my TV dad. And I'm going to lead with my TV dad. And that's because I loved the show as a kid. And that's Carl Winslow of Family Matters. He's a cop. He has to deal with Urkel, the greatest neighbor ever. Did I
That is
do
a great
that?
pick.
Oh man, I love Family Matters. Family Matters was my jam. Danny Tanner's great, but Carl Winslow gives you some solid lessons. It
Yes.
can be firm dad, like he gets it. And he's funny. And then
Yes.
also he's in Die Hard. So
Even if you picked if you did the movie thing and you picked Al from Die Hard because he was going to be soon to be dad,
yeah,
hey,
yeah,
that
he's
would
a-
work too because he's taking care of his woman,
Yes.
getting Twinkies.
Yeah, quintessential TV dad, Carl
Yes.
Winslow. And
Love
my
it.
bad dad is one of the greatest martial artists of all time, Goku. Goku is a horrible, horrible father. He's like, oh, you want to train my son? See ya. There's a clip now from Dragon Ball Super where he's talking about kissing, and Vegeta's like, wait, you don't have to kiss Chi-Chi? He's like, no, that's gross. He's like, you have kids together. And then they cut away to something else just to show Goku doesn't care about anybody and his family, and
Mhm.
Piccolo is really Gohan's dad. Let's be real. Goku is cool. Goku will fight for his kids. He knows what's best for his kids, but he did not raise Gohan. He's like, yeah, whatever, kid. I'm gonna go off and be fight gods and demons and be up here in heaven. Call me when you need me to fight some evil androids. Peace. I think Goku's the quintessential bad dad.
All
Tim,
right.
we're on
All
your
right.
last pick.
I'm last with my last pick is a bad dad pick. And I have to go with the ultimate bad dad of the universe and one of my favorite characters that I have a lot of. Marty knows
Stealing
where
my
I'm
pick.
going with.
You're stealing my pick.
Darth Vader is my
Solid.
pick
Solid.
for
It was
bad
in the
dad. Come
Nice.
on, Marty. You know I would have to pick that. Got a shelf. I got a whole.
I think we'd all be doing a bad job.
Bunch of
if
Darth
Vader
Vaders back
didn't
there.
make it on. If he wasn't on this list, I think we'd all be we'd have to reevaluate some things, right? Yeah.
And do I have to
Solid.
explain why he's a bad dad? Do I have to? Do I have to go?
Spoiler alert. No, he's a dad? No, yeah.
Besides cutting off his son's arm
Yes.
or hand.
Yep.
Yeah.
You don't need that. Let me teach you a lesson.
Yeah. He is in the Goku school of thought. Make him tough.
That's right.
Okay. Jesse.
TV Dad's last for me, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to go with Stephen Keaton from Family Ties. Go a decade
Oh.
earlier than yours.
There you go.
I
There you
like
go.
that. I like
That's
that.
another
That's
good
what I
one.
grew up on.
Nice.
That's with Michael J. Fox, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
I love that show. I remember watching that
You-
family. He was a good dad. He had a lot of violence on that. And isn't who's the other big? Isn't Jason? He's in. No, I'm thinking of a different show. The guy from Arrested Development.
That was a different show. That was Family Matters.
You-
No. I know who you're talking about,
Yeah.
So
but
about
I
his
don't-
sister Bateman.
Jason Bateman. Yeah, I thought he was in
That-
that, but he's in something different.
that's a different show.
Yeah.
Right, his sister, whatever her first name was in the show.
Okay,
that was his
okay.
sister.
That's what it is. That's what
His
it is.
sister was a sister in the show.
Yeah. He was. Yeah. No, that's a great choice because he plays like a professional dad always. Like he's something in like as a cameo dad. He's a quintessential TV dad. He's got that dad look to him too. Like I'm not mad. I'm disappointed.
Right.
You know.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was Justine Bateman or something like that.
Yeah. And Marty, we're leaving it to you.
See, now this is like Tim took my.
I threw him off.
He threw me off because I thought I had the end with Darth Vader, right?
Yeah. That's the
Uh,
thing about this, right? You got to kind of like pivot. You know, you're like, oh, okay. Like Al Bundy was going to be my go-to bad dad, and he's a great TV dad.
yeah, that was going to be mine. And then I've got one. Like I've got several that I can think of as bad dads, but like some of them are just kind of like so obvious, right?
Right.
Like I was gonna say, and this is not my pick, was Archie Bunker.
I had that thought too, or like Peter
Terrible
Griffin,
dad,
right?
terrible dad.
Archie Bunker.
But I here it is. I think I'm gonna throw out a left field pick right here.
Okay.
Bad dad, the king of the cosmos from the
Yes.
Katamari game series.
Oh,
Because if you remember the very
That's a
first
good
game
one. I
that
like
came
that one.
out, the
That was-
whole storyline of the game is, hey son, I have wrecked shop across the universe and torn everything up. It's your fault. Go pick it up.
nice.
Terrible
That's
dad.
good. That's a game I've never played that I think I would love.
You need to play it. It's
Okay.
fantastic. And like recently, the very first one was on sale on Switch for like $4.99. I don't think it is anymore, but it was
And
super
the-
discounted.
The second game's coming out or will be coming out
It's
soon,
out.
right?
It's out now. We Love Katamari's out now.
Okay, I'll
It
check.
just came out.
Okay.
But yeah, so I know that was the last, but can I throw one? Can I throw like a
bonus dad in,
Can I throw a bonus?
as long
tag?
as it's not Bill Cosby. I was
It's
I was
not.
like, no one can
It's
say
not
he's
Bill-
is he a
Bill
TV dad or
Cosby.
bad?
No, it's not Bill Cosby. Tim said something earlier about Al Bundy and about how he remembered, like he thinks of him and he's like, man, that's my dad.
Yeah.
So
Certain things he did.
I
yeah.
don't know why I didn't say this before, because I think it was probably because you said we're not doing movie, we're doing animated.
Okay.
The dad from A Christmas Story.
Oh
yeah.
That's my
Yeah.
dad.
That's
That
a
is
good
my dad.
There you go.
He really is.
Did you
Like,
watch
there's-
Did you watch the new Christmas Story on HBO Max or Max?
I did, and the thing is I watched it in December. My dad passed in October.
Right.
It
I'm
was
sorry
really
to hear.
hard for me to
Yeah.
watch, and
Yeah.
but like it was cathartic in
I
a lot
bet.
of ways too, because like I was like the whole movie is about him passing away,
Right.
and them dealing with that, but like I can sit and watch A Christmas Story, and I can like this sounds so stupid. It's
No,
it's
I like
hokey.
this.
Like I sit and watch Christmas Story, and I feel my dad's presence. Like that is
That's
him.
awesome.
Like
That's
that
awesome.
dad, like just the outlandish outbursts
Yeah.
that just now we laugh about. That was my dad.
My
Nice.
son loves The King of the Cuss. Like that's his favorite part of that movie. At 8 years old, he's like, "What is he saying?" I'm like, "Some pretty bad stuff, son." Like,
Yeah.
like you can see.
Oh,
him
yeah.
wonder. He's like, "Huh."
Right.
That's
You
a
want to
good
hear what
pick.
my
was
movie
your
dad
movie
was
dad?
going to be? Yandu from Guardians of the Galaxy,
Oh.
Volume 1 and 2.
No, Tim winning it all over there.
Yeah, look
My
at that.
God.
Yeah, I had two movie dads come up right off the top of my head. The Robin Williams character from Mrs. Doubtfire
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
and
Oh, good.
Scott Lang, Ant-Man.
Mm.
Oh, that's good. You
Both
wonder
of
who my
those are
movie
great.
dad was?
Yes.
Liam Nielsen.
Yes,
I have a special
he's
sense of
literally
humor.
destroying.
Yeah,
Yep.
dude. I guess we all
He's
had a fifth
literally
round. Look,
destroying
hey, we all
human
got a different
trafficking
fiction. Look at
syndicates
that.
for his daughter.
Okay, I'm adding all of our
Absolutely.
movie dads to the list. So we got a fifth. This is how this game always goes. Everyone wants to play like one more round. So good. We got the movie dads in. Perfect. We added that. Yeah, Liam Nielsen. Hold on. I'm writing this down. I had Liam
All right,
Nielsen.
use the Mrs.
John
Doubtfire
Jones.
character as my official
Okay,
pick.
Mrs. Doubtfire. That's a movie still great. Like my son watched that and still enjoyed it. There's some movies from my childhood that he's like, eh. And that one he was like, this is funny.
He literally is called the old man. I went to look up the Mr. Parker or the old man.
The old man, yeah, old man. No, that's yeah. Old man is great. These were some really good times. Well, guys, I really appreciate you coming on tonight for Father's Day, and thank you for all you do for the Nintendo community. And I want to wish you each a happy Father's Day this weekend.
Same
And
to
for
you,
all those
sir.
out there celebrating, happy Father's Day to you. As you said, who is your Nintendo dad and what does he do? Kindergarten Cop. I had to get the reference in there from the show. That's the last one. Where can we find more of you guys?
You can find us on everywhere just by looking up Nintendo Dads. You can Google us, and I'm sure all the places we're in is
Our
is out there.
website is nintendodads.org, and then from there you should be able to find us on everything else.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there's tons of links over there to everything we're doing.
Okay.
And then for me
All
individually,
of our
you can-
tweets, all of our YouTube videos, all of our podcast episodes.
Yep. Me individually, you can find Neo Prime 33 everywhere as well.
I'm Marty Estes, so
Yes.
at Marty Estes, Instagram, on Twitter, Facebook, all of that, whatever.
On Twitter, I'm Laffer2, LLAFFER2, and I really don't do much of anything else anywhere else, so I'll just stick with Twitter.
Okay, go. Well, if you like what you heard, you can follow these guys in the description below. And if you like more of us, check us out on the Underpowered feed. Follow us on YouTube. Join our Discord. Come in, talk games, tabletop, whatever you want. Thank you guys, and play your games. Bye-bye.